rebuilt the Zook, I upgraded to the GM alternator, and it lasted like 200 kilometers, and I had put a new rebuilt alternator in, and it started making a kind of a whirring noise, and then my voltage started dropping. It was charging 13.5 volts or 14 volts, and it would drop to 12 and it would stay there, and then it would come back on and it would go off, and I thought it was my gauge on the dash, so I added another digital gauge to it, found out that it was not the gauge that was faulty, it's the alternator. In this video here, I'll show you how to take this alternator apart slightly, clock it so that it works with the GM alternator conversion, so that these plugs here in the back and this wiring isn't going to hit against the intake manifold and whatnot. It'll be easier to get at and everything. So I'll show you how to do that. Super simple install. And yeah, that's everything. So let's get after it here. Okay, so here you can see I started loosening this bolt, and I thought, geez, I should do a video. So I loosened this bolt. There's another bolt back here. That's your live. That's on the alternator. That has to come off. And then there's the plug in the back. It'll be kind of hard to see. That has to come off. There's a lower bolt. There you can see the lower bolt on the alternator there, and the low range off-road conversion there that gets bolted to the motor. So that lower bolt has to come out, and then the alternator pops out. So and the first thing definitely you want to do every time is remove your power off your battery, because touching any of them live wires anywhere to the ground will short it out, cause a fire, sparks, all the good stuff. So I will unbolt this alternator, take it out, clock the other one, and we'll put her back in. It's a real simple job, but I figured I'd show it. Maybe some people are a little worried about doing it or whatever, but it's really nothing. So here we go. Plug. There we go. Alternator's out. Old one, new one. Okay, so what we got to do here is remove this nut here. We'll use an impact to remove it. Simpler. Just gotta hit her quick. So what we're doing when we clock it, here's the old one. If to work on this setup, here's your upper mounts, and these are your lower mounts to the onto the motor. What I want to do is I want to turn the back end of this alternator and clock this plug to the bottom, because on this side here there's no room with the intake manifold and stuff like that, and to get your plug in there, really much of a pain in the butt. So we put that plug in the bottom, and that's really all we're doing here, is clocking this so that it turns, just so that the plug faces down. So to do that, you have to loosen these bolts just enough that you can separate the front. You want to pull the front off. You don't want to pull the back off, and for the shaft come out of the brushes and stuff. So we'll loosen these off, and then we'll just tap this down enough so that it gives us enough space clearance that we can turn it. Turn it the same as this one. So that's as simple as that. Just give it a little partial turn. Put your bolts back in. And these don't have to be super tight either, just enough to hold the alternator together. So there you go, you can see it's really easy to clock these things. Very simple, anybody can do it. It's nothing to be really scared of. And then this stuff here just goes back together in the reverse order. Simple. We're just going to put a little blob of blue Loctite. Not much, just a dab of blue Loctite on there, just to hold it. And when you set these two, you don't need to hammer on them. You know, you don't need to hammer away at them. You just give it a quick blast with the impact. We're tightened up there. That's it. That's all it takes. And now we'll put her back into Suzuki. So the install of this is actually just it's the complete opposite of taking it out. We'll just go ahead and do it here. Okay, so now we got we got the alternator in. We put the lower bolt in, just loose. All that's really left is to hook up that main live wire and put the tensioning bolt in. Make sure your belt is on the pulleys. Set some tension in it, and we're good to go. So I'm going to reach down in here and I'm going to get that main live wire on the back of the alternator. And we just need a little bar just to put a little tension on our belt. Doesn't have to be you don't want to put a ridiculous amount of tension on it, but just a little. You know, it's got to be, when you push on the belt, you know, you don't want it to be singing tight, but you don't want it loose. You'll know if it's loose, it'll be screaming there when you fire it up, or it'll squeal you know. Alright, so we got top bolt tightened, lower bolt tightened, main power, main 12 volt power from the battery going to the back of the alternator, that's tightened. Clip is in. Now all that's left is to hook up our battery. Alright, here we go. Okay, so let's try her out here. Beautiful. Charging nicely. Go outside and check, make sure everything looks good out there. Running good, no funny noises. Belt doesn't seem to be flopping none. Not squealing or anything. Looks like success. So there you go, guys. It's a real quick, simple, easy job. Anyone can do it. I bet it took me, even filming it, I bet it took me 20 minutes. And I know it's not the full, it doesn't show the full detail on how you do these GM alternator upgrades. But you get the picture. You just, all you have to do is, pull the little ASIN or whatever they call it, alternator out of there. Take the old alternator bracket out, pitch it, or keep it, whatever. And then just, you can get the lower and the upper GM alternator bracket conversion from low range or Roadless Gear sells them, probably Petroworks, a bunch of other places sell these parts. You can get it from wherever you want to get it. I got mine from low range. Everything worked, bolted up perfect, worked really good. So yeah, there you go. I'd like to thank you guys for watching Suzuki Evolution. Please subscribe and leave some comments below. Hit the little bell button if you want to you want to be alerted when I put up new videos. And yeah, I'm gonna take this little thing for a rip. I will catch you guys next time.